Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here. Many of you have asked me, how can we protect ourselves against the energies that are all around us that are so difficult, the energies that are shaking us up right now and really causing some havoc in our world. I have some suggestions for those of you who are empaths or very sensitive, and we know that's only about 20% of the people in the world are highly sensitive. And even within that 20%, there's a sliding scale. So some of us are more sensitive than others, and that can be difficult to live with on a day-to-day basis. But there are things we can do to protect ourselves. And I thought I would just come and tonight and tell you a few of those. And I say tonight because you can see outside it's starting to get darker out. It may be morning or daylight where you are. But let me see if I can give you just a couple of ways, a few different ways that you can protect yourself and see if that doesn't help you in this energy that we're dealing with, because this energy isn't going to go away. It's going to be around for a while. So the first thing you can do is recognize that you are sensitive and there's nothing wrong with you. That deep sensitivity allows you to do things like write poetry. It allows you to be highly intuitive or psychic. It allows you to understand life in a way that those without that deep sensitivity are not able to understand life. And that's not good or bad, up or down, in or out. It's just the way you're made. And it's the way others are made because they have other purposes in the world. But your purpose, your soul, your spirit has asked you to be highly sensitive in order that you can do the work that you've come into this world to do. So you may be an artist, you may be a poet, you may be a psychic, you may be a medium, etc., etc., etc. So here are some ways you can protect yourself. First of all, once you recognize, I'm just very sensitive and I take in the world's energy, you can put a shield around yourself. Now, how do you put a shield around yourself? Well, with a prayer, you recognize that divine white light of energy from spirit coming in through the top of your head, filling your entire body, and then moving out from you. And so you're in a cocoon, and you can do this before you get into any group, any where there are other people, grocery store or restaurant or whatever, and you're kind of walking in airports certainly, and you're kind of walking then in that cocoon. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is recognize at what times of the days or what days you're extremely sensitive, and those days you may choose to stay home. You may choose to spend an extra time in meditation during those days. Now, if you're in an office and you have to go to work every day, there are a couple of things you can do there in addition to the cocoon. If you have water on your desk, if it's in a bottle, keep the screw top on, especially if you're a body worker, for example, massage therapist, or any kind of energy that other people are around, where their energy's around. Energy goes toward water. It also goes toward fire. So if you can burn a candle, the excess energy will go toward that fire in the candle. It will go toward running water. It will go toward water. If the water is running, then the water cleanses itself. But if it's sitting in a glass and then you're drinking it, you're drinking the other person's energy. You don't want to do that. So simply on your glass of water, put a piece of paper over the top of it when you're not drinking it. If it's a bottle of water, keep the cap on it. Before, like if you're working in an office, when you leave the office, before you get into your car, before you go home, stand on Mother Earth and shake it off. Just shake it like that. Just shake it off and say, thank you, Mother Earth, for cleansing this energy. Always give thanks for that. Spend time in nature. That certainly will help. Most empaths, I call myself an outgoing introvert because I'm very outgoing, but I must have that time that introverts call for of time alone. And I live in the woods, so I do have time alone. So I want to say I think that's true of many, many sensitive people, that we may be outgoing, but we also must spend time in nature. And maybe, especially if I moved out to the country because I'm very sensitive to sound. And I still find that I love the city, I love visiting, but I still find the noise of traffic just goes right up my spine. And so I have to be very careful to protect myself. Certainly the prayer with the white light around you, cocooning yourself in safety. Be careful with the glass of water. Recognize that, shake off the energy, recognize how sensitive you are. And one last thing that you can do that is pretty easy, and that is simply say a prayer. Simply say, please don't let me be sensitive at this moment. Whenever you're working in the energy or you leave a place, simply say, sending that energy back to where it came from, back to where it came from. Never hold on to the energy. Whenever I've worked with the client, my first prayer at the end of the session that I say privately is sending this energy back from where it came. You can say that with whatever you're doing, not carrying the energy with you. And the last thing I want to say for those of you who are sensitive, once you recognize you're sensitive, you do have to shut it down. You know, when I teach my class on how to develop your intuition, awakening and developing your intuition, which helps you refine and take your intuition to that next level, I always teach people, don't live in that deep, deep sensitivity, because if you live there all the time, you're going to burn out. You're not going to be able to be out in the world. So learn, be intuitive out in the world, but the deeper, deeper psychic energy you may need to shut down in order to just be able to deal in the world. How do you shut it down? Simply a wish. Be aware of it. When you're starting to feel you're picking up other people's energy, definitely take care of yourself. I have a kitty who's trying awfully hard to get some attention, and you may even hear her. And Daisy Dog's been over here trying to get attention too. And I have another kitty under my chair because they all want a little attention this evening. So I'm going to go give them attention. I'm going to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for allowing your sensitivity to help your life and to help the lives of so many people, because you do. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for spreading love out into the world. And I'm getting licked here, so I think I better go to my private world. I love you. Thank you.